The planet Calora was alive. Its skies glowed with pale blue light, and the forests stretched endlessly, thick with towering trees and vines that twisted toward the sun. Strange birds with luminous feathers flitted through the branches, and distant rivers shimmered like molten silver. For most, Calora would seem wild, even dangerous. For Captain Liam Carter, it was just another frontier world, another mission on the edge of human space. Liam was not an ordinary human. Years of exploring dangerous worlds, surviving hostile environments, and facing unknown threats had shaped him into someone both cautious and daring. His dark hair was often tousled from wind and exertion, and his hazel eyes always scanned the horizon, alert to danger. But beneath the hardened exterior, there was a sharp mind, capable of seeing opportunities and patterns where others saw chaos. The mission had started as a simple peacekeeping task. Two factions of the Nyrith, the dominant alien species on Calora, had clashed over resources and territory. The humans had been called to mediate, not to fight. Liam, with his calm demeanor and reputation for fairness, had been chosen for this delicate negotiation. When he first met Alara, he had not expected much. She was brilliant, a scientist with a mind tuned to logic and precision. Her slender frame moved gracefully, but her presence carried authority. Her eyes, a striking shade of violet, studied everything around her, including him, as if trying to map his soul. Alara had already formed an opinion of him. "He is straightforward," she had said to herself when she first saw him. Steady, predictable, human. She believed she knew him, his reactions, his choices, even his courage. That belief made her feel secure. It was rare for her to trust someone so quickly, but Liam had earned it without even realizing it. His quiet confidence and calm reasoning in the face of uncertainty made her feel that he could handle anything Alara would throw at them. Their journey began in the deep forests near the Nyrith borderlands. The trees towered like natural skyscrapers, and the ground was covered with thick moss that muted their footsteps. Strange sounds echoed all around some birds, some unknown creatures, but Liam moved confidently, as if the world itself were simply another terrain to navigate. "You move as if you've been here before," Alara said, adjusting the strap of her pack as she kept pace with him. "I've seen worlds like this," Liam replied with a small smile. "Different planets, same principle. Stay alert, respect the environment, and don't underestimate it." Lara nodded, impressed. She admired humans' resilience, but she had never met one with such confidence and foresight. She believed she could read him, that she knew his limits. And in truth, she was only partly right. The first day passed without incident. They discovered small settlements, interacted with local Nyrith, and began understanding the tensions that had sparked the recent conflicts. Liam's presence inspired trust among the Nyrith, who found it easier to discuss delicate matters with a human than with their own leaders. Alara watched him closely, analyzing his interactions. "He is cautious but decisive," she whispered to herself. "He measures, he calculates, but he never hesitates when needed. Predictable, steady." But as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the alien trees, the forest began to feel different. A subtle change in the air, a shift in the wind. Liam noticed it first. His hand instinctively moved near the blaster at his hip. His senses, honed from years of survival, detected an unusual pattern in the forest sounds, a silence that spoke of lurking danger. "Alara," he said quietly, gesturing for her to stop. "Something is here. Something watches us." Lara froze, her violet eyes scanning the trees. "Do you think it's hostile?" Liam shook his head. "I don't know yet, but be ready." The next few hours were tense. They navigated the forest carefully, every step measured. Liam's instincts were sharp. He noticed the subtle signs, the way a branch hung a little too still, how the moss was flattened in unnatural ways. He was tracking something that even Alara could not see. Finally, Alara reached a clearing that revealed a structure unlike any natural formation. Jagged stone walls rose into the sky, almost like a fortress built by giants. The entrance was partially concealed by hanging vines and moss, giving the impression it had been abandoned for decades. Alara's eyes widened. I didn't know anything like this existed on Kalora, she said. It must be ancient. Or incredibly well hidden. Hey. Liam stepped closer, his boots crunching softly on the ground. Hidden, yes, but not abandoned. Something or someone's inside. They approached cautiously, examining the perimeter. Liam's analytical mind began piecing together patterns, patrol routes, weak points in the walls, energy signatures that hinted at active defenses. Ilara followed his lead, trusting him implicitly. She believed she knew his approach, his thought process. She had no reason to doubt her understanding yet. As they neared the main gate, a subtle vibration ran through the air. It was faint, almost imperceptible, but Liam noticed it immediately. The energy was not just defensive, it was sentient, aware. The hairs on the back of his neck rose. He raised a hand, signaling Ilara to stop. From the shadows, a figure emerged. Tall, armored, and regal. It moved with grace and authority. Its eyes glowed with an intensity that made the forest seem darker by comparison. The Nyrith Queen ruler of this region stood before them. She observed Liam and Ilara silently, her presence demanding both respect and caution. Liam remained calm, his stance open but ready. He had faced leaders, warriors, and creatures far more terrifying than this. But the queen was different. There was power in her that went beyond physical strength, an authority that could bend entire societies. Ilara's heart raced. She had expected a challenge, but not this level of grandeur. And as she glanced at Liam, she felt a strange conflict. She had believed she knew him, that he could handle any threat. But now, facing the queen, she saw the first crack in that certainty. The queen spoke, her voice deep and melodic, resonating through the clearing. Humans are fragile, she said, eyes locking onto Liam. And yet, here you stand. Why? Liam met her gaze steadily. I am here to mediate peace, to understand your people, and to ensure that no unnecessary blood is shed. The queen studied him, tilting her head. You speak boldly for one so small in your kind. Many have tried and failed. I am not many, Liam said simply. I am one. And one is enough if the will is right. Lara's breath caught. She had heard humans claim courage before, but she had never witnessed it so unwavering, so calm. For the first time, she wondered if she truly knew Liam at all. The queen did not reply immediately. Instead, she gestured toward the fortress. You may enter, but be warned. Many do not leave with their minds intact, or their pride unshaken. Liam inclined his head. Understood. As they stepped into the fortress, the walls seemed to pulse with energy, alive in ways that defied Ilara's understanding. Liam navigated cautiously, analyzing the traps, sensing hidden dangers, and moving. With an instinctive precision that only humans who had survived countless hostile worlds could possess. Ilara followed closely, her confidence in him growing but also shifting. She had believed she knew Liam, his limits, his capabilities. But the deeper they went, the more she realized that there was a part of him she had never seen, side so controlled, so powerful, that it was impossible to predict. They reached the heart of the fortress as darkness fell completely, illuminated only by faint glows from energy conduits along the walls. The queen's presence was felt even without seeing her fully. Liam paused, listening, observing, and calculating. Ilara's eyes were wide with awe. He is not just human, she whispered, almost to herself. I thought I knew him. But Liam did not speak. He knew the test was only beginning. And somewhere, deep within the fortress, the alien queen was watching, measuring his every move, sensing his true strength, and wondering if this human could be more than just a visitor for Ilara. The realization was clear. She had believed she knew her mate. She had been wrong. And as the shadows of the fortress closed around them, a new, unspoken tension filled the air, the kind that signals the start of a storm. The first part ended with Liam standing in the fortress, calm but alert, and Ilara beside him, her admiration tempered by awe and curiosity. Neither of them yet understood the full scale of what was about to unfold. But one truth had become undeniable. Liam's true power was something even the alien queen could not ignore. The fortress was unlike anything Liam had ever encountered. Its walls pulsed with a strange energy that seemed almost alive, shifting and humming as if it were aware of every movement inside. Lights glowed faintly along the corridors, casting eerie shadows that danced like silent observers. Liam's senses were heightened. Every sound, every vibration, every shift of air mattered. Ilara stayed close, marveling at the precision and calm with which Liam moved. "I thought I knew him," she whispered to herself again. "But this is something else." Liam's mind worked quickly. He studied the patterns in the walls, the subtle changes in the hum of energy, the occasional flicker of light along the hallways. "Stay behind me," he instructed softly. "There's more here than traps. There's intelligence." Okay. As they moved deeper, the corridors opened into a vast chamber. Massive statues of Nearth warriors lined the walls, their eyes glowing faintly. The air was thick, almost suffocating with a strange energy. And then the sound came, a low rumble, like a growl, but intelligent. Like a warning, from the shadows creatures emerged. They were the guardians of the fortress, massive beings with armored exoskeletons and sharp-clawed limbs. Their eyes glowed red, scanning the intruders. Liam did not hesitate. He moved with a fluid precision, combining speed, strategy, and instinct. Using the environment to his advantage, he leaped onto walls, ducked behind pillars, and manipulated the glowing energy streams to create barriers and traps for the guardians. Ilara followed, but she was struggling to keep up, not with her strength, but with understanding the level of control Liam had over every situation. One guardian lunged at him with terrifying speed. Liam sidestepped barely and grabbed a glowing shard from the wall, using it to redirect the creature's momentum against another guardian. Within moments, he had outmaneuvered several attackers, guiding them into traps he had improvised in seconds. Ilara gasped. How? How are you doing this?" she asked. She had always believed humans were limited, predictable. But Liam's actions defied everything she knew. "I adapt," Liam replied calmly. "Observation first. Action second. Never the other way around." It wasn't just skill, it was instinct honed by years of surviving impossible situations. Every step, every decision, every movement was calculated yet natural. The Guardians were formidable, but Liam's human ingenuity turned the tide. Within minutes, he had neutralized the threat without killing unnecessarily, demonstrating a level of control and precision that even Ilara could not have anticipated. After the Guardians were subdued, Liam paused to catch his breath. His eyes scanned the chamber. "There's more," he said. "This is only the first layer. The Queen won't reveal herself so easily." Lara followed silently, her mind racing. She had thought she understood him, had thought she knew the limits of his courage, his intelligence, and his power. But here in this fortress, she realized she had been wrong. Every time she thought she had him figured out, surpassed her expectations. They entered the next chamber, which was larger, darker, and filled with a strange floating energy that pulsed like a heartbeat. At the center of the room stood the alien queen herself. Her presence was immense, regal and commanding. Her eyes glowed with a deep, mesmerizing light, and her voice echoed in the chamber like 1,000 whispers at once. "You are impressive," she said, her gaze fixed on Liam. "But strength alone does not impress me. Strategy alone does not impress me. Show me what it means to be truly powerful." Liam's heart did not race. He remained calm, steady, and composed. "Power is not only strength," he said. "It is choice, precision, and understanding. It is knowing when to act and when to wait. And it is protecting those who cannot protect themselves." The Queen's eyes narrowed, curious. She had seen humans before, but never one like this. Most were reckless, driven by impulse or emotion. Liam was neither. He was a combination of instinct and intellect, a balance that was rare even among the most disciplined species. Suddenly, the chamber shifted. Walls rose and fell, platforms moved, and the floor became a maze of energy barriers. The Queen's test had begun. Liam assessed the situation instantly, mapping the safest paths, identifying weak points, predicting the Queen's traps. The maze was designed to test both strength and mind. Energy barriers blocked certain paths while mechanical guardians patrolled others. Some corridors led to dead ends, others to collapsing floors. Liam navigated the maze with calm efficiency, leaping over barriers, redirecting energy streams, and avoiding traps with a combination of speed and foresight. Ilara watched in awe. "I've never seen anyone move like this," she whispered. "He is incredible." Even as they progressed, the Queen's challenges intensified. Guardians adapted to his movements, energy barriers changed patterns unpredictably, and the maze itself seemed alive, reacting to their every choice. Yet Liam remained composed, analyzing, predicting, and acting at one point. A guardian cornered them, far too fast and strong for a simple maneuver. Liam acted instinctively. He used the environment falling pillar, the reflective energy streams, and the guardian's own weights to trap it. It was not brute force. It was ingenuity, creativity, and precise timing. The Queen observed silently. She had never seen a human capable of such adaptability. Most species relied on either raw power or complex technology, but Liam combined both with intuition and morality. Even in a test designed to break the spirit, he maintained control and composure. As they reached the center of the maze, the final chamber opened. Here the energy was thicker, almost tangible. The Queen's presence filled the room, and the air seemed to vibrate with anticipation. Guardians were no longer attacking. Instead, they watched, as if acknowledging Liam's mastery of the earlier challenges. "You have done well," the Queen said. Her eyes locked on Liam, scanning him as if trying to measure every thought, every intention, every possibility. "Few could navigate the defenses I have built. Fewer still, with your calm and precision. Tell me, what is your goal?" Liam stepped forward, unwavering. "To protect those who cannot protect themselves, is to create solutions where others see only obstacles, and to ensure that power is used wisely. That is my goal." The Queen tilted her head, intrigued. "And yet many have said your kind is weak, fragile, and limited. How do you claim such power?" "I am not limited by fear," Liam said. "I am not limited by expectation. Strength is not only physical, it is in courage, decision, and responsibility. It is in understanding and adapting. That is how humans survive. That is how I survive." Ilara felt her heart swell with admiration. She had thought she understood him. She was beginning to see the truth. Liam was more than human. He was extraordinary, even to alien eyes. The Queen studied him silently for a long moment, her eyes narrowing in contemplation. Then she stepped aside. "You have shown power beyond what I imagined. Humans. Perhaps I underestimated your potential, but strength alone is not enough. Show me the final proof of your control." Liam nodded, understanding that the final trial was not about fighting, but about wisdom and leadership. The chamber began to shift again, this time presenting moral and strategic challenges. Holographic images appeared, villages under attack, leaders making wrong choices, creatures in danger. Liam had to make decisions that balanced protection, efficiency, and long-term outcomes. With calm precision, he guided each scenario to the best possible outcome. Decisions that seemed impossible were resolved with ingenuity, strategy, and ethical consideration. Guardians and holograms alike reacted to his choices, adapting to test him further, yet he remained unshaken. Ilara's voice was barely a whisper. He is perfect. Not just strong, not just smart, he is. Everything I hoped and more." Finally, the chamber fell silent. The Queen's gaze softened, but her authority remained. "You have passed the test," she said. "Not because of strength, not because of intellect, but because of control, courage, and moral clarity. Humans, perhaps your kind deserves the respect we have withheld for too long." Liam inclined his head. "Respect is earned, not given." I have done only what was right." The queen studied him once more, her glowing eyes filled with both curiosity and respect. Elara stepped closer, her admiration and awe evident. She had believed she knew her mate, understood his limits and capabilities. But now, standing in the fortress, watching the alien queen recognize his true power, she realized how much she had underestimated him. Liam's calm, steady presence had carried them through challenges that even the queen herself had designed to test ultimate capability. And as he stood there, ready to face whatever came next, one truth became undeniable. Humans, when pushed to their limits, could achieve greatness that even the most powerful aliens could not ignore. The second part ended with the alien queen watching Liam, a new respect forming in her mind, while Elara understood that she had only begun to see the depth of her mate's true power. The galaxy was vast, full of challenges and unknowns, but with Liam, anything seemed possible. The air in the fortress was thick with tension. Liam and Elara stood before the alien queen, whose presence filled the enormous chamber like a living force. Every pulse of light along the walls seemed to echo her authority. Yet Liam remained calm, his posture steady, his eyes reflecting a determination that needed no explanation. Elara watched him, her admiration deepening with every passing moment. She had followed him through danger, seen him neutralize guardians with unmatched ingenuity, and navigate traps that would have crushed even the strongest alien warriors. But now, as the final phase of the Queen's test approached, she realized this was more than skill or courage, it was essence. Liam carried the unyielding spirit of humanity itself, and she understood how little she had truly known him. The Queen's voice echoed through the chamber. "Humans claim to possess qualities that surpass mere strength and intelligence," she said, her eyes glowing intensely. "You have demonstrated control and courage. But can you show wisdom, compassion, and the ability to lead when all paths seem impossible?" Liam nodded. He understood the final trial was not about combat but judgment. The chamber transformed. Holographic images appeared before them, filling the space with scenes of conflict and challenge. Entire villages were threatened by natural disasters. Alien creatures were trapped in dangerous environments, and leaders faced impossible choices that could cost countless lives. Every scenario demanded a decision, and each decision carried consequences that were immediate and tangible. Elara gasped at the scale of the simulation. This is incredible. Even I don't know the right answers to all of this." Liam's gaze swept the chamber, his mind analyzing each scenario. He moved calmly from one holographic image to another, calculating outcomes, predicting consequences, and choosing actions that balanced protection, efficiency, and long-term impact. Where one path might harm the innocent to save many, he found alternatives. Where others would panic or hesitate, he acted decisively yet with care. He guided trapped creatures to safety, reorganized failing settlements, and advised alien leaders in ways that avoided conflict while maintaining justice. His decisions were quick, precise, and humane. It was not raw power that carried him through, but judgment the kind that could only be honed through experience, empathy, and relentless determination. The alien queen observed silently, her expression shifting. At first there was curiosity, then surprise, and finally respect. Liam's approach was unlike any species she had ever known. Where others relied on overwhelming force or superior technology, he relied on adaptability, insight, and morality. His strength lay not only in skill or intelligence, but in the very choices he made under pressure. Elara stepped closer, unable to contain her. He is not just strong or clever. He is everything I thought he was, and more," she whispered. She realized now that her human mate was beyond understanding, beyond prediction. Liam's power was not only in what he could do, but in how he could think, decide, and inspire. Suddenly, the holographic images began to shift. The simulations combined into a single scenario, a massive alien city under siege by a rogue faction. Citizens were trapped, leaders paralyzed by indecision, and destruction spread rapidly. Liam analyzed the situation instantly. He saw weak points in the defenses, escape routes for the citizens, and opportunities to neutralize the attackers without unnecessary harm. "Follow my lead," Liam instructed Alara softly. Together, they moved through the holographic battlefield, Liam directing forces with precision and insight. Every choice he made had an immediate, visible effect. Citizens were saved, chaos was minimized, and the rogue attackers were contained efficiently. The Queen's eyes glowed brighter. She stepped forward, her immense presence filling the chamber. "You have done what none of my greatest strategists could achieve," she said. "You do not rely on strength, nor on fear, nor even on instinct alone. You combine judgment, empathy, and decisive action. You are extraordinary." Liam met her gaze without fear. "I do what is right," he said simply. "Power is nothing if it cannot be used wisely. Strength is nothing if it cannot protect those who need it." The Queen's expression softened, though her authority remained. Many species claim morality, courage, or intelligence. Few demonstrate all three at once, and even fewer combine them with your skill. Humans. Perhaps I have underestimated your kind. Ilara's hand brushed against Liam's arm. She felt warmth and reassurance in his presence. "I never understood," she admitted softly. "I believed I knew you, but now I see how wrong I was. You are more than I imagined." Liam gave a small, reassuring smile. "You never underestimated me intentionally. But yes, there is much about humans and me that is not obvious at first glance." The Queen's gaze lingered on him, studying him carefully. "You have passed every test," she said. "Not because you are human, not because you are brave, but because you embody qualities that make a species truly formidable. Humans, it seems, are capable of greatness beyond what I imagined." Ilara's eyes shone with pride and admiration. She had journeyed alongside Liam through danger, observed his abilities, and now witnessed the Queen's recognition of his true power. It was more than skill. It was respect earned through action and choice. The Queen took a step closer, her voice softer now. "You have shown that even in the face of overwhelming odds, one can act with wisdom and integrity. You have proven that humans are not merely fragile or limited. You are capable of influencing events on a scale that even the most advanced species cannot ignore." Liam bowed slightly, not out of fear, but respect. It is not about proving anything. It is about doing what is right. Every species, every individual, has the potential to act wisely. My actions are simply a choice to embrace that responsibility. The Queen regarded him silently, then nodded. "Your choices demonstrate true power. Strength alone is meaningless if it cannot be guided by wisdom and purpose. You, human, have shown that power is as much about mind and heart as it is about body." Ilara's heart swelled. She had thought she knew her mate his limits, his courage, his strength. But now she realized that Liam was extraordinary in every sense. His power was not only in what he could do, but in how he chose to act, how he approached the impossible, and how he inspired trust and confidence in others. The Queen turned her gaze to Alara. "You have chosen wisely," she said. "Your human is not just brave. He embodies the qualities that allow a species to survive, to flourish, and to rise above challenges that seem insurmountable." Alara felt a deep sense of awe. She had believed she knew him, but now she understood that her human mate was more than she could have imagined. "He is remarkable," she said quietly, her voice filled with reverence. "Not just strong, not just clever, but extraordinary in every way." The Queen stepped aside, her presence still immense, but no longer threatening. "You have earned my respect," she said to Liam. "Humans are now seen in a new light because of you. Your actions will be remembered. Your species will be regarded as capable of greatness." Liam nodded, his expression calm but proud. "I did only what was right. Recognition is secondary." Alara smiled, finally understanding the full scope of his power, not just physical, not just intellectual, but moral and strategic as well. She had journeyed alongside him through danger, witnessed his unmatched skill, and now seen him honored by one of the galaxy's most powerful beings. The fortress seemed quieter now, the energy less tense. Guardians that had once threatened them now watched with acknowledgement, almost as if recognizing Liam's authority and composure. The queen's respect radiated through the chamber, and Alara felt a warmth that had nothing to do with physical danger. It was pride, awe, and admiration. For the first time, Ilara truly understood her mate. She had thought she knew him, his courage, his intelligence, his limits. But the journey through the fortress had revealed a truth far greater. Liam was not only capable of surviving impossible odds, but he could inspire trust, respect, and admiration even in the most powerful alien leaders. As they prepared to leave the fortress, the queen spoke one last time. "Remember this, human. You have shown that power is meaningful only when guided by wisdom, morality, and courage. You have earned respect, not just from me, but from all who witness your deeds. The galaxy will remember this day." Liam inclined his head. "It is a day I will remember as well, and I hope it marks the beginning of understanding, not just for humans, but for all species." Ilara took his hand, her eyes reflecting awe and affection. She had followed him into danger, stood by his side, and now understood the full truth. She had never truly known her mate, not until he had faced the ultimate test. And in that revelation, she found not fear, but admiration, trust, and a profound sense of connection. As they left the fortress, the alien sky above Kellara glowed with stars and distant moons. The forest seemed calmer now, as if acknowledging the presence of someone extraordinary within its midst. Liam walked with steady confidence, Ilara beside him, and the knowledge that the galaxy had witnessed the true power of humanity resonated within both of them. For Ilara, one thought remained clear. She had believed she knew her mate, but now she understood that Liam's true strength was far beyond comprehension. And with that understanding came a sense of hope, admiration, and the certainty that together they could face anything